We're rolling? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're in front of what was, it says 1522, the Fine Arts Lecture Building, and that was the far end. The window of the door is here on the window. There also were other windows at one time around the side. It was the art office. Barry and I and Bob had our offices in there, our desks. And the other end was the lecture building where we showed slides. Come around this way, I'll show you something.
Okay.
You're still rolling, or turn it off?
We're rolling.
Oh, out in this field out here, we would play softball at lunch hour between the ceramics department and the painting department.
That's good size field for softball.
Yeah, we had we had the base over here, the home base. And one time, one of my painting students who became a sculptor, he's in Tascadero, did some big bronze sculptures now, but he was a baseball player, and he hit one through the library window and broke the window, so we had to switch and put our home base over there and switch direction.
Which was the library?
The big building, oh, see the white one over there? Well, actually, it was the annex building.
It's still standing?
Yeah.
We'll get a picture of that.
So anyway, the entrance was over here. Nope, nothing here anymore. So this is where we went in, the entrance, and there were windows all along the side here. Like the windows, see the building back over there?
Mm-hmm.
That's the original kind of buildings, that kind of windows and walls.
Oh, the second building over.
The one way down there with the red roof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see that all horizontal wood, all peeling, and the windows, those vertical windows. That's the way this wall was, and windows on the side. And for the slides to be seen in the dark, we pull shades down. And this window here, at one time, there was a pinhole evidently in the shade. I was lecturing from that side looking out. On this wall, all of a sudden, I saw people walking upside down along the wall. What happened was the light was just right, and people out here walking across the field, and a square camera actually developed. So I could show the art appreciation got exactly what a square camera looked like.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was just a great phenomena. Okay.
All right, we're rolling.
I don't know what this lecture building originally was, because it was just an empty building. So what the Army did, I don't know what they did with it. But this one, where that tree is there, not the building between that was added, but that was the ceramics building. And it was originally latrine. So it had a toilet and sinks in it. And so Barry was able to remodel that into a ceramics building. And we also added, I don't see those things around here, little square small buildings that were actually housed the soldiers. They were bunk houses, actually, I guess. And we used those for storage areas.
Oh, I remember there were hundreds and hundreds of those.
Yeah, right.
Let's see if we can spot one later to get a picture.
I don't know if they had those or not. Okay,
Right. So tell me again, the building at the end was what?
the nursing department.
The building at the end.
They had a nursing program right from the start. Yeah, oh, the nurse's office was there, and then later they had the whole nursing program.
Do they still have that at Cuesta? Is that
They have a big nursing program, yeah. I never recall they had street names. Oh, this is a fancier street than it was in. Do I look at you or look at this?
Back and forth, with me and the building. So start off with me, with the camera.
Okay, we're at what was the first studio building. 1530 was the number. Is it still there? I think it still is. And this little porch here was not there. It was one long narrow building. It was a mess hall. At this end was the kitchen. Had a big industrial sink and a platform where there was the stove and a big hood, where I put in the welding, cutting and welding bench with bricks on it. It was right over this nice concrete pad for the hood, so it was a grate. And there was right where they got rain barrels. My first rain barrel that was inside there was a storage area. And then there were two other rooms on the far end for the drawing and design and painting labs. And my office was at this end. So it was one nice little long building, and
It was a mess hall. I had forgotten that.
yeah. Okay, we can walk around the other side of it.
Yeah. the, what do you call it, the boundary line between you and Camp San Luis Obispo.
Oh.
It's right against the edge of your.
Yeah, well, right here at this point here, where it says stop, that goes into the Camp San Luis property. And when I first came here, it was wide open. We could go through there. I could take classes in there and do pictures of their military parts. But there was a point when, where was that? All of a sudden they needed to have more security, so it went and tightened it all the way around, fences all around it, and you couldn't go in there anymore.
But in the early days, there was no boundary like there is now.
Well, in terms of the use of the school, ours was from this road all the way down to the end of this road. From that section there, it's a large block. We can drive around the whole picture. I'll show you later. The halfway down this building one time, there was a nice bee's nest, honeybees. They made a whole big, and we had to have someone take that away.
The name of that building, or the name of that mountain there where there's a helicopter right now, which mountain is that?
What are they doing up there? They're doing something right at the top. That's weird. That's Cerro Romualdo. That's one of the big volcanic peaks. Ancient. Oh, well, yeah, they're playing games over here. Oh, the paintball. I think it's paintball. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, they got that fence up there. I hope it doesn't go through. Oh, you're rolling?
Any memories you have?
Yeah. This extension wasn't here either. So but that yard area, that was where the sculpture yard was. That was our yard, and there was a little hut at the end there for storage. And that eucalyptus tree looks like it's not the one though, because one of my students did plant a tiny eucalyptus tree in that yard, but that must be a different one. And I had students built a fence along here, sculptural fence. Anyway. And this was a parking lot, student parking lot here.
Oh, they could drive right up. What a great parking area.
Yeah.
Drive right up to your class.
It was not paved, it was gravel.
Point out those little noises we hear in the background. So those little noises are what?
That's over at the Camp San Luis part, and they're doing, I think, more games. It looks like, it sounds like, I thought maybe paintball, but maybe.
Guns or paintball? These are real soldiers going through real training.
Yeah, well, the National Guard. Here comes the car. We should close it. Well, we can get around, I guess. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm standing in the middle of the road, looking east, and the far end down here on the right is where the art building was, 1530. The one here, 1532, is a music building, which is, of course, remodeled. And across the street here, to the right, that was the same shaped building, just repainted. That's the way that's the mess hall. That's what the mess hall looked like, long like that. And that was the library annex. This was the library, believe it. Look how beautiful that is.
That used to be a church?
I don't know if that was a church or not. It looks too, it might have been a meeting hall, because the churches had more of a, I think, a little different shape. Might have been. Anyway, the library had walls between the windows, and that's where our first exhibits of student work and guest work was, and a faculty show, which was me. Well, there were two other part-timers by the time. So that was an original building. That's how that wood looked like almost at that time. Not quite as rustic, but close.
Okay.
So walking down this way, around this way. Oh, here's the cafeteria.
Look this way, you guys, both of you.
Oh, I want you to take some I want you to take some pictures of this building for me.
Which building?
from this angle, from the front, because I want to show some paintings of this. So you have to give me pictures and send them to me. Also from a distance, so I can see the landscape, the trees around it.
You got that?
So, this was the cafeteria. It entrance on the other side. Ginger, do you remember Ginger? She might no. She was the cashier at the cafeteria here and on the new campus for a long time. She was a real fixture. I just thought of that. This I think had the photography and journalism there. I think that's all I remember in this area. Might have been the biological sciences and history. I'm not sure. Over that direction would be the administration.
I want to find one of those little old buildings that you were talking about. Those little.
Yeah. They sold off the buildings to people who wanted to come take them down and use the wood.
Oh, that's what.
So, coming up on the right side is the administration building.
Administration for who? Cuesta?
That's the first place that the president first had his office.
This on the corner here?
Right on the corner.
Oh, let's stop and
Oh,
have
it
you.
looks the same.
Let's have a stop and
It
talk
has
about
a
that.
ramp going up to it. Wow. The vice principal, vice president, business administration, maintenance offices, shipping and receiving, huh?
Okay, so we're rolling. You can talk about
Does that say building 1508? I think it does. This was the administration building where Florence is looking in the window. That was the receptionist right in the front there, and then to the left was Frank Martinez's office, and back further was Merlin Eisenweiser's office. And there was an interesting situation that very first year, which would never happen again at a larger campus. We had 26 instructors, and the president at the end of the year wanted to speak to each instructor, and at the same time turn the keys in for the year. And so we would go in and turn our last paper in, sign off, and he'd ask how things went. We talk, and he said one thing which always made me kind of really wonder. He told me that I was the first instructor he ever really worked with well. And I thought, well, that sounds pretty good. I guess I'm doing a good job. And then I left. I began to wonder, well, you know, our instructors are supposed to be kind of independent. You're not supposed to be able to work with administration well. Maybe I did something wrong.
Should have clashed more, huh? Should have made more waves. How old was he compared to you? At the time?
He might have been 50.
He was a grizzled veteran.
Well, he was probably like my dad's age. Yeah. Yeah, he was a good horseshoe player, like my dad.
Did they play horseshoes here?
No, but at a picnic one year afterwards, every year for those early days we had school picnics, big barbecues and picnics, and we all had fun. And then we played horseshoes, and I saw him play horseshoes, and man, you got to ring him.
Impressive for the school president.
Yeah. So come this way. Wait a minute. What happened? No, that's not nursing. Oh, we're way down there. Oh, way down there.
Down by the
Nursing.
stop sign.
No, this one was student services. That's where the counselors were.
Is there something in between that's since been torn down? There's quite a bit of space in between.
Between here and there, I don't think so. I don't recall. But this was the secretary's office for the school.
Separate from the main
Yeah.
administration building.
Well, it wasn't the secretary or the principal. This was the faculty secretary. And that's where the mimeograph machine was.
So if you needed copies, you walk over here,
That's right.
give her the paper, and she'd
Yeah,
mimeograph your
yeah.
tests.
Or I think we went and actually did them ourselves too. So yeah, this is quite a distance down from the other area now, even though it's spread out.
And these buildings behind you here, what do you recall these as?
Well, this was administration also. That's where that one I don't recall being used. They weren't all used. All were locked up. The latrines in between here seem to be gone. There was one over here. There was a latrine also. That's where students had to go out in the fields to go find the bathrooms. There was a one single private bath in the library. Because usually I would go to the latrines out there with students, but Earl Blakesley didn't like to do that. He went to that little private one in the library. But the funny thing was, there wasn't just a door between there and the library. The students were. He was like, you know, big fart. You could hear it.
These are good stories. They're gonna go good in the final cut. This is one of the main entrances.
This. Oh, okay, yeah. This was the main entrance out by the highway. I don't know if we showed you that yet, but this curved around past the Regiment House, went around the corner out to Highway 1. That was the main entrance coming in. And then when the bridge got so bad, couldn't go across, that's when they opened up the other side, redid the bridge over there.
And the airfield's right behind. There were
There was an airfield still. They were there, I think, in the summers, yeah. Do you remember John Bowen?
Sure.
He went to England and brought back a sports car, a little yellow sports car. I can't remember the name of those from England.
MG?
No, not MG. No, it's expensive, fancier than MG. Anyway, he brought it back, and he was zooming around that curve over there, and hot rodding. He slipped off the road and had a little accident.
He was the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Doesn't match the outside.
Let's look over this way. There's the main part of the campus way over there. I can see the cafeteria building from here, the biology sciences here, and maybe business was there at that end, I think. And the main administration building way over there. Right in this area here, it's all field. Oh yeah, now history is in here. The history departments and social sciences. There was a building here, and there's a tiny building that I don't recall what it originally was used for, but it was used. What we made it used for was the drama department had a little theater, and you would have a theater in the round. You'd have probably about 30 people with the audience, maybe. And so the first 2 years, the drama instructor, who was also speech teacher, was Joe Caesar, and he was the one that did the drama there. And you mentioned David Eisenbeis. He was the son of Merlin Eisenbeis, the president, and he was a drama student, had a big voice, and took part in the plays I remember there. And Joe Caesar, only 2 years, he decided he didn't want to stay here. He went to Watsonville to Brio to teach. And that's when Jack McBade came, the 3rd year, I think.
McBade goes a ways back also then.
Yeah. So on this side here, though, is the theater. Not for the drama department, but it was used for large lectures, community. It was used for the music department had their concerts here, and any kind of guest concert of musicians. There were a variety of things that we would, for the community or the school would hire during certain programs. And there was a foyer here where I did display a lot of student artwork too. Forgot about that.
Okay.
And that was here. Oh,
Gallery?
this was here until. Gee, how long? This was used a lot, even after the new campus was built, for a long time. And it was called, after Blakesley retired in '72, it was called the Blakesley Theater, I think.
Blakesley was music guy.
Earl Blakesley was the first musician, music department. He did band. They didn't have a big orchestra. He taught, of course, a lot of classes of music and music history. And he was the department chairman at first, the division chairman. He retired in '72, and that's when Warren Balfour came at that time. Wow, back in time. she's been in and out since 1996.
Okay, that.
This was the chemistry building here, I think. You listen to the next one down there.
They're still used for something.
This might have been chemistry here. It's when I was on this road. That's the road we can drive down and practice driving on that one, I think. Or was the next one?
They all look the same.
Yeah.
Does it look like they're being used?
These are used here now, kind of, aren't they? I mean, it's not. No, that's not kept up as well. These are the newer remodelings here now. Yeah. No, that was the road there. I think we practiced on mostly. That was engineering down there. Colonel Frank.
Okay, so that fence up there where it says stop, why is that fenced?
Up there.
Uh-huh.
That's the military. That's where they're when they're practicing.
But isn't this also the military where we are?
Yeah, well, I don't know how this is owned now. It's military, or if it's Conservation Corps is a state. Well, actually, military is now also state. It's not national, so this is probably still state property here.
Oh, this is definitely falling apart.
This is the engineering building. In my first year, I had to show art history slides. Art history. They didn't have enough slides, so I had to show them through books. And he had the only opaque projector in town. Not even the library did. So I had to come down here in my car, get the opaque projector, take it down, and show the lecture classes.
Look, all this material for who knows what.
That's
There's no exit this way?
yeah. Let me go back on this one now. That is where they had what do you call those obstacle courses for the military.
Oh, the
That's what I'm
obstacle
thinking.
course.
That building, most of it's gone now. That's where the warehouse was out there. I'm gonna drive down the street with you and Medisa and Kirk learn to drive.
No.
She bawled me out for teaching Medisa how to drive. This building right here might be one of the trees.
Might still be.
The comic door.
Covered door. Their building's kind of spread out.
They have a mixture of good buildings and unused buildings.
The John.
Some of that are newer than others.
Like for example, that one, it's open.
Now you see the cafeteria area and the tables are still out here? That's where we come out and sit out here. We were out sitting out there one lunchtime and there were out here, there are a couple of latrine buildings, and all of a sudden someone yelled, "Look out there, there's some streakers." There was two females, one real skinny and one real chubby, and they were running naked across the field across here from one latrine to the other. That was the streaking days of the 70s, early 70s, I think. Yeah, that's it, I guess.
These are all buildings or
Come out right at the old library.
Yep. Like that around my house. more money, I'd have someone come in and do all that for me. Well, we got to go by the where the little theater on this side was. It was the old church.
Go back for some B-roll next time more.
So what's the B stand for?